Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2020 horror film On Halloween. A film that is written and directed by Timothy Boyle and it stars Giselle Van de Ville, Tellen Rodwell, Aaron J. March, Robert Harrell, James Pratt, Daniel Musial and Connor Fogarty. Now this is like a slasher film with a supernatural twist. And it kind of follows three stories, this film, and all these stories become intertwined and they're all connected to like a killer clown that appears every Halloween and goes on a killing rampage. Now these three stories, there is a news reporter, a journalist, who is obsessed with this story and feels like there's more to it and wants to investigate it and is given permission by her editor to go and do so. There is another story where there's a group of youths who decide to go looking for this killer clown. They just believe it's like an urban legend, so they go and hang about where this clown is supposedly seen quite a lot, and lo and behold they encounter him. And there's another story with two police detectives who are also filming like a reality TV show, a bit like the Cops TV show, and they are investigating a murder that may have a connection to this killer clown. So you've got like these three stories that all run cohesively through this film and all become intertwined and connected by the end of the film. But like I say, the linking storyline here for all these three stories is this killer clown that appears every Halloween night and goes on a murderous rampage. Right, so without spoiling anything, that's all I really want to say on the story. What are my thoughts on Halloween? Well, I think it's one of those films, this, that does actually have a lot going for it, but it's seriously flawed at the same time. So it's a little bit of a frustrating watch. It reminded me a lot of that film I saw last year called Trick. There were similarities between this and that film in some ways, although Trick is a much better film than this, I think. I really enjoyed that film. I think I'll talk about some of the flaws of this film. The acting at times is, by some of the performances, is a little bit below par, is the most polite way I can put it, I suppose. The sound is, certainly when the film starts, the sound is terrible. It's like, and the dubbing, it's like they went and recorded all their lines again after the film went into post, and it's almost like they spoke into a tape recorder or something. It's just not very good quality, the sound. You can't, as the film goes on, you kind of get used to it, I suppose it's fair to say. But the first impressions this film gives is not good. You feel, oh, this is a cheap, low-budget horror film. I'm not going to enjoy this at all. And it is true. It is a cheap and low-budget film, this. But if you stick with it, it does get a little bit more rewarding. Now, another problem that this film has, I feel, was it doesn't hang about. I suppose after about 10 minutes, it gets straight to the killing, which is great if you're a slasher fan and all that kind of stuff, because some of the kills are quite entertaining. But it loses its way and it loses its steam in the third act, this film, because of that. Because you get desensitized to it. You get desensitized to this clown who, fair enough, does have some interesting and fun one-liners, and he like rhymes when he speaks as well, which is fun. But there's almost, the problem here with this film is overexposure of this clown by the third act. So you kind of, I personally felt the wind went out of the sails in the third act, and then it picks up a little bit for the finale. These three stories that run alongside each other, I did kind of figure out about halfway through the film what was going on, So the big reveal at the end was a little bit of an anticlimax for me, because I kind of figured out what was going on, and I'm sure you will too. So it tries to be a little bit more clever than it actually is, the film. But it's it's a good film. In some ways, I did enjoy this film. I thought this clown, I mean, there's so many clowns in horror films these days, it's completely saturated the market. You've got to do something fairly interesting with a clown character in a film, and I feel as though they do here. It feels a bit bloated, because there's this whole supernatural storyline running alongside this clown that, I don't know, it just felt like it didn't work so much for me. And I felt they could have spent, I mean, like I said, one of the problems with this film is it goes into the killing too quickly, and I felt they could have spent longer at the beginning of this film, like building up this legend of the clown a bit better, so that you don't see anything for a while, but you're anticipating it, and you're looking forward to it because of this this myth and this urban legend of this clown has been explained well throughout the early part of the film, and it doesn't really do that. It just kind of like, this clown kills Halloween night, and even though you do get a prologue at the beginning that ties into the film to some degree, I felt they could have told that story a little bit better of this clown, certainly early in the early going. So I think because it is quite a flawed film, I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 10. It was very close to getting a 6 out of 10, because I did enjoy many aspects of this film. I thought the kills were entertaining. Once it found its feet, this film, and once it got going, it was much better, even though it did drag the third act. But the finale, again, brought it back up again, I think. So, pretty interesting slasher film, this one, with this supernatural twist. I did have some fun with it, so I think, fans of low budget horror, especially slasher films, might certainly get something from this one. So that is my review for On Halloween. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I will see you back, of course, with more content on Screen Stars very, very soon.